In this video, we're going to talk about the role of the non-dominant arm on your forehand. So most people have probably seen, pros keeping their left hand on the throat of the racket here when they're doing their take back, right? But why exactly do we do this? Right? Because we see a lot of people that hold on to the racket way too long. Some people take their hand off the racket right away. What's the purpose of this? Why do we do this? Well, let's take a look at the forehand. So whenever we're swinging, we're trying to make sure that we are rotating our upper body to let the racket follow, right? Our lower body is supposed to stay stable so we have more control, but all the generation of power happens up here where we're rotating. Now, what could the left arm do to help us rotate? Well, if we're trying to prepare, we need to make our unit turn happen, so we need to do our backswing here, right? So that's a shoulder turn to the side to prepare. Now, if we're doing that without the left arm being involved, feels a bit awkward, right? Our left arm feels like without a purpose. So we're trying to do this turn with our left arm involved, right? Now the good news is it doesn't just help us feel better on the backswing, but it actually helps us to rotate better on the swing. Why is that? If my arm is up here, now I can start pulling my elbow back, right? And you can see this in most pros. They end up with their hand kind of in front of their shoulder like this when they're rotating, because the elbow pulls back behind their body and initiates their shoulder rotation, dragging the racket forward. Now, if we're holding on to the racket too long, now we're not going to be able to rotate our shoulders because we're blocked. So that means now we're going to be late and we're going to swing just with our arm, right? If we're letting go too early, now we don't have enough of a backswing here with our arm, so now our shoulder rotation can't generate the same amount of energy and we're going to hit softer shots or with less control. So what we really want is we want to make sure that our hand kind of stays around the throat of the racket. It doesn't have to touch it all the time. It has to kind of stay here, right, until our elbow is kind of pointing towards the incoming ball. That will help us to now generate more power in the rotation by initiating the rotation in our left elbow. It makes our kinetic chain longer, makes it easier for us to generate more power. Now here's one added benefit of keeping our hand attached to the racket to a certain extent. We're now able to change our grip last second during our backswing and hit a drop shot. So it helps us to disguise our drop shots when we're actually hitting forehands. So that's an added benefit to that. Now obviously that's for more higher level players. If you're a beginner level player, you probably shouldn't play around with trying to disguise a drop shot because you're not even going to put the drop shot in without the disguise. And if you're changing your grip too late, it's going to be even more difficult. So if you're more of an advanced player, you can try to play around with that as well. If you're not, try to keep your hand a bit more detached from your racket, but close to it, so you can start with that rotation a bit earlier and get used to that rotation to hit your forehands on a consistent basis with a lot of power.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.